Hello there. So, these are my books that I read in May. Well, slash May. Yes, slash May. I didn't actually read any books or finish any books in April, but I didn't want to skip 1 month just to keep that chronological order on the videos and whatnot because I've been uploading one each month. But because last month I didn't finish, must say, because I did read a little bit, but I didn't finish a complete book. I didn't make any video, but we're almost done with May, so I thought I might as well just do the wrap up now that we're almost done with May. Today is May 28th. So this is not in a specific order, but because this is the only book that I have in physical from the books that I read this month, is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. Hanya Yanagihara. And this is, I think, a very popular book. And it took me a little while to read it because it's kind of long. But I do, with the books that I read, with the very few books that I read, I realized that I do enjoy long books, even if they're slow paced. This book is really slow paced, and I was intrigued by it because a lot of people, you would see on the internet that it was really sad, or that you would see videos and people finishing the book and sobbing. She wants to see what I'm doing. Yes, I'm talking to nobody. Yes. Well, hopefully. Hi, if you're watching. But yay, no te vayas. Stay here. Okay. So so you would see the videos of people finishing the book and sobbing and crying. So I was intrigued by it, and I bought it because this was, I think, even before I started reading, actually reading, taking reading as a hobby. This was on my TBR, in my to be read list, because just the cover. I love sad movies, and I was interested by it, so I read it, and I do enjoy it. I did enjoy it, and I'm thinking about it. I just finished it yesterday, and today I was looking for not reviews, but people, the aftermath of people reading this book, or reading blogs from this book, people talking about this book and whatnot. So I really enjoy it. So this is basically following for college friends. They met in college, and we follow mainly I don't know if this is his face or it's just a random a random guy. I don't think it is, but just so we follow four guys and their friendships and their relationships and their lives, basically, but we focus more on the life of the main character, which is Jude, and their lives, their struggle. It is very triggering, so I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it easily if you are triggered by self-harm, abuse, violence. There's a lot of trigger warnings, but aside from that, I really enjoyed it. I don't know how to explain. I did enjoy it. I did cry 2 times, or tear up a few times, mostly after the half of the book, after the half or midway of the book, things start getting a little bit heavier. But regardless, I did enjoy it. I didn't I wasn't put off by it. I know, the book was talking about difficult things and these things that the main character went through and whatnot. But it was insightful, and I don't know how to describe it, but I just enjoyed it, and I kind of want to reread it. While I was watching the videos just a few hours ago about people talking about this book, I was like, I want to read it again. Like, I just want to start over, because I think in the very beginning I was a little, you start reading a new book, you start getting introduced by all of these characters, and you get, well, at least I get kind of mixed up of who is who, and there you start mixing up some names or characters, relationships, and whatnot. So kind of want to reread it again, and to I think at some points I was kind of speeding by when it was a little bit too slow for me. um, but it's fine. I mean, um, I I just enjoy it. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I just enjoy movies and books like this, that they just get into people's lives and we see their struggles, even though there's huge struggles are not, are not something enjoyable to read about, but it's just insightful. I don't know how to describe it, but I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. Probably rereading it, I will give it 4.5. 4 stars for me is like, I really, really enjoyed this book or this movie. Well, we're not talking about movies right now, but I really enjoyed A Little Life, and I didn't know much about this book before I read it. I just know that it was kind of sad, and they would make me people cry. And yeah, I just enjoy it. I would recommend it if you're not triggered by the main triggers of the book, which is abuse, abuse, and SA, and self-harm. So if you're not triggered by it, and you like fiction, literary fiction books, like this kind of books that get in deep into people's lives and traumas and troubles, you would enjoy it, I think. And also if you like slow-paced books, because this is very slow-paced, and for a moment, like after halfway of the book, when shit really starts to happen and to be explained, it got a little faster, or at least for me. Maybe it just depended on my attention in that time. Also, most of the book I read it in very short, like I would read, I don't know, maybe 10 pages at night, and I had like, in April I barely touched this book, so I finished mostly half of it in like, basically I read the majority of it in a few days, and the rest of it in very short span. So maybe I just lost track for a second, and maybe that also affected on how I was following the story. But regardless, I enjoyed it. I would recommend it. I would reread it. I would recommend it if you're not triggered by it. So yeah, next books. This is the first book that I finished this month. Because again, I didn't finish any book in April. So it is Do Not Disturb Do Not Disturb by Frida McFadden. God. There it is. Do Not Disturb by Frida McFadden. I just was feeling like reading a thriller. I was in this reading slump, so I was wanted to read like a thriller, entertaining, nothing too oh my god, nothing too deep, just a entertaining book. And I was craving something in like a motel, with motel vibes. I really enjoy those kind of things, those kind of vibes. So I found this book. It wasn't on my list or anything. I just found it, I believe, on the Storygraph, the app that I use to track my reading. So I found it. I read it. It was entertaining. It is about well, I don't know if it's a spoiler. You might say that information on the on the back of the book and whatnot, on the synopsis description. But it is about a girl or a woman that is married to this guy, and she runs away because something happens, and she runs away to this motel, and she started discovering some things happening within the motel, and we follow a point of views of different characters. Let's say the main character, and then the sister of the main character, and then the owner of the motel, and then the wife of the owner of the motel, which made me lose the, like, I kind of wanted to get more in depth of each of them characters, specifically of the main character, on the owner of the motel and whatnot. But it's a fast thriller, kind of popcorn thriller, I guess. So it wasn't like, oh, we're getting so much depth into the character's mind. It was more like, this is happening, blah, 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 blah. Like very fast paced. That's a good thing. I think I give it, well, oh yeah, I said how much I gave it to A Little Life, but I think to this one I gave it 3.5 or 3.5, 3.75, I believe. So it was entertaining. It got me out of my reading slump, but I wouldn't recommend it nor read it again. I'm not a fan of this kind of popcorn, I believe, popcorn books, because I want to get more deep into the character's mind and reasoning of why these things happen. So I think if it was a little bit longer, and maybe we would get more time with each character, it would be a little bit better. But it was, just for an entertaining book, it was fine. Let me see what else. Oh, well, one that I have fresh in my mind is the one that I just finished, which is Fox 8. Let me get the name of the author. Okay, this is the cover. It's Fox 8 by George Saunders. And it's a very, very short story or novel. I'm not sure. It doesn't say a novel. It's a story. It says a story. It is like 34 pages long. It's very, very short. It was really cute. Like, as soon as you start reading, cute, but also kind of heartbreaking, and it makes you think how cruel we are with the animals, and you kind of put yourself in their shoes, like how's their perspective of how we treat them. And it's cute because the writing is like of the point of view of this fox, and the writing is like kind of phonetically, not all of it, but kind of, let's say, great. Oh, that's great. The fox would write it like grata, yeah, something like that. Or gratefully, he would say great, right, GRATEFUL and then LEE, like kind of like that, right? Kind of like how you listen to the sound. So it was a little bit, you kind of had to focus a little bit more to read exactly like the words, and how the fox would write it. It was really cute. It was kind of sad, a little thoughtful. I don't know how to say it, like, I don't have the words for that, but it would make you think about how cruel we are to the animals, and we don't deserve the animals. And I'm going to walk my dog, even if it's night, because I don't know, but it's cute. I don't know how to describe it. It's just cute and a little bit sad and a little bit, yeah, I don't know how to describe it. I wasn't able to open my Storygraph account here, but yeah. And let me see if I remember the other one. The last one that I read was, oh yeah, it was I have the name here, What You Always Wanted or something like that. Let me see. Okay, I was almost there. So it is Everything You Ever Wanted by Luisa Salma, which I had started reading actually last year. This is the cover. Hope you can see it a little. So that is the cover, and it doesn't really portray much about what's the book about, but it is about in like the dystopian world and whatnot. They there's another planets available for us to go to, so they make this kind of audition for people to sign up and go to live to that planet, which is called Nyx, I believe. Yes, Nyx. The thing is that you cannot go back, you can go come back to the earth. So if you go, you're just gonna stay there, you're gonna die there. But also they're going to make kind of like a reality, like a kind of Big Brother reality show from the people that live there. It's like they have their own ecosystem, their own way to make food and whatnot, but it's kind of all covered, like they don't really have access to nature or like wind, air, nothing natural and whatnot. We don't really, well, I don't really want to say much about it, but that's the premise. So there's this the main character who is really depressed, and she goes basically because she's very unsatisfied with her life, and we get a lot of insight. We don't really follow her. Well, we kind of follow her more at the end of the book, on her living in that on Nyx. But most of the book, I believe, we follow her through her living on Earth and her relationships and her reasoning why. We kind of see why she ended up wanting to go live there. We start by her like being or arriving to Nyx, but then we go like 2 years ago or something like that. I don't remember what was the time period, but like some years ago, and we see her like just living on Earth, and she had this job that it was just meaningless, and yeah, it's kind of with that existentialism topic, or kind of doomed topic, that you don't really want to die, but you don't want to be in this earth. It is kind of relatable if you are in that mindset that life sucks, like the system sucks, that we have to work to eat. We get only like 2 weeks of vacations per year, and we can only enjoy the weekends and all of that. So I started reading it last year, as I mentioned, when I was in that mindset that fuck the system, kind of, well, I don't know the words, but that kind of mindset. And I kept reading it, and I finished it, and I enjoyed it. I think I gave it 3.75 stars or something. I read it kind of fast, so that's good. I like when I get really into a book, and I can't wait to keep reading it. So that was good. At the end, it was a little, I don't know, I guess I got kind of used to the most of the book. It was kind of like contemporary fiction basically, and then at the end it was more like dystopian action fantasy. I don't know exactly, something like that. But yes, it was good. I would recommend it. It was entertaining. And yeah, those are all the books that I read in May. And I have a lot of books. I actually have some books arriving throughout this following weeks, so I'm excited about that. I really enjoy reading much more physical books, so I'm trying to really choose, like, let's say I order because I just finished this book, so I order books. I'm trying not to fill myself with books, but yeah, I'm trying not to fill myself with books, but I enjoy reading physical books more, so I just got a few books because I don't have any other physical book to read. So well, I do, but I don't feel like reading them. And there were they were basically books that I already had in my home. I didn't really choose. So yeah, those are the books that I read. And I don't know. Let's see which are the books that I read next month in June. Bye.